This is the last word, and I'm Marya Shakil. The swords are out between the BJP and Aam Aadmi Party as Delhi decides in less than 3 weeks. The incumbent Aam Aadmi Party is crying foul over the misuse of central agencies, even as Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia today filed nominations from New Delhi and Jangpura constituencies. BJP continues with its Kejriwal is corrupt charge. This as Union Home Ministry has given the green signal to the Enforcement Directorate to prosecute Delhi's former Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister in the liquor scam case. On the show tonight, we ask, will BJP's corruption charge stick on Aam Aadmi Party? First up the story, then I bring in the guests.
Up in celebratory mode even before Delhi decides. Convener Arvind Kejriwal filing his nomination from the New Delhi constituency.
एक तरफ काम करने वाली पार्टी है और एक तरफ गाली गलौज देने वाली पार्टी है.
His former Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia too did the honours from Jangpura.
लॉ एंड ऑर्डर तो संभाले नहीं गया बीजेपी वालों से, अब उनको स्कूल अस्पताल देकर और बर्बाद करवा लें.
But the party that rose on the anti-corruption plank found itself back in the shadows of the liquor scam quagmire. The Union Home Ministry has given the nod to the Enforcement Directorate to prosecute Arvind Kejriwal in the money laundering case regarding the Delhi liquor policy scam. Reports suggest Manish Sisodia too is on the receiving end.
तुम इतना क्यों घबरा रहे हो? क्या जुर्म है जिसको छिपा रहे हो? लाख छिपाओ छिप ना सकेगा. आपका घोटालों का पाप है ये गहरा. जी हां, ये 2026 करोड़ का घोटाला. दिल्ली के महाठग और कट्टर बेईमान अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने अपने साथियों के साथ मिलकर 2026 करोड़ का शराब घोटाला किया है.
अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के खिलाफ एक चवन्नी का प्रमाण नहीं है, ऐसा लिखा है कोर्ट ऑर्डर ने. माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि सीबीआई बंद पिंजरे में तोते की तरह काम कर रही थी और यही बात आज दिख रही है. जब आपके पास सैंक्शन ही नहीं थी तो आपने सारी कार्रवाई कैसे की? अब तो सारा मामला कोर्ट में सुनने के बाद बाहर है अरविंद केजरीवाल जी, और इससे आपको दिखता है कि कितना दुरुपयोग हुआ है ईडी सीबीआई का.
The Home Ministry is not to prosecute AAP's big two comes after Delhi Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena approved the prosecution of Kejriwal in the case. Both Manish Sisodia and Arvind Kejriwal have spent jail time in the case before they walked out on bail. The Congress party was quick to latch on to the BJP's corrupt Kejriwal taunt.
देखिए, मैं फिर कह रही हूँ, शराब के घोटाले में बुरी तरह और पूरी तरह पूरी आम आदमी पार्टी, केजरीवाल, मनीष सिसोदिया, आप फंस चुके हैं. आपको भ्रष्टाचार के चलते जेल जाना पड़ा, आपको बेल पे बाहर है. भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ आए थे और उसी दलदल में हम फंस गए. कानून को अपना काम करना चाहिए जो कर रहा है, और मुझे लगता है इस काम को फास्ट ट्रैक पे करना चाहिए.
The Supreme Court last year had said that the ED was required to take prior sanction before prosecuting public servants. Kejriwal had moved the Delhi High Court, arguing that the ED charge sheet against him and others were illegal because no prior sanction was taken from authorities.
Critics may question the timing of the Home Ministry's nod to the Enforcement Directorate to prosecute Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia just ahead of the Delhi election. But the big question is that will BJP's corruption charge actually turn out to be a defining factor on the 5th or not? Now with camera person Mukesh, this is Ishka Verma for NDTV.
RP Singh, spokesperson of the BJP, joins us. We have Neerja Chaudhary, senior journalist, Yashwardhan Azad, former IPS officer, and we also have Anmol Panwar representing the Aam Aadmi Party. Yashwardhan Azad, why is timing a suspect here? Timing of sanction. Mr. Azad, if you heard me. Okay. We'll try and fix that line with Yashwardhan Azad. But Arvind Singh, you know, this case is an ongoing case. For the last few years, Aam Aadmi Party and its leaders, you know, party leaders including Arvind Kejriwal, Manish Sisodia, have been in jail for, you know, their alleged involvement in the liquor scam. But the question is that just 3 weeks, in fact less than 3 weeks to go for the Delhi polls, if the prosecution sanction has come from Union Home Ministry, which of course is helmed by someone from the BJP, then questions will be raised.
But I don't understand why questions are being raised on action against corruption. Is it action which is pending against corruption, which should be, everyone should support it. That yes, there is action being taken against corruption and everyone should hail it also, not only support it. That government is seriously, Modi ji is seriously pursuing all action against corruption. So it was matter of time, and then it was due, and so the LG have forwarded it, and so the Home Ministry accepted it. What's wrong with it? I don't understand. Mr. Kejriwal is out on bail with preconditions that he can't act as a CM, he can't sign any file, he can't call any meeting. And these are the preconditions of the bail. Mr. Sisodia is out on bail with precondition that yes, that he has to be present in the local police station twice a week, and then he can't go out of city. His passport has been impounded, and he has to keep his mobile data on so that he can be tracked where he is.
Okay, but the question here is, Anmol Panwar, if action is being taken against alleged corruption, then Aam Aadmi Party, which also says that you believed in corruption-free movement, that is where it all started, why should you be worried? Because let's not forget that the Enforcement Directorate had actually called the former Chief Minister kingpin and key conspirator of the Delhi excise policy.
Marya ji, once again it has been proven that this was an investigation scam. The people of Delhi didn't believe the BJP for the last 2 years. This drama which they created, and certainly they won't believe it now as well. Every court order in the last 2 years has very clearly established that this was a false and fabricated case, that there is no direct or indirect evidence, that there is no trace of proceeds of money. And the fact is that not a single penny was found even after thousands of raids were conducted by the Enforcement Directorate. And what were these so-called premier agencies whom the Honorable Supreme Court has labelled as caged parrots in their order dated 30/9/2024 were doing for the last 2 years? Why didn't they obtain any sanction? The reality is that the Bharatiya Janata Party is heading for a decisive defeat for the 4th time in Delhi. The writing on the wall is clear. That is what has unsettled the Bharatiya Janata Party, and they are resorting to every tactic to tarnish the image of Aam Aadmi Party and distract the people from their incompetence and failure. But it won't happen this time. लोगों को इनका असली चेहरा दिख चुका है. The reality is that BJP is resorting to mass voter deletion and addition. The reality is that their own spokesperson, national spokesperson, yesterday,
my question is then, RP Singh, that, all those questions being raised against Arvind Kejriwal isn't really new.
10 seconds, Marya ji.
So my point here is that is the BJP realizing that the Delhi battle is getting tougher? That is the reason why this prosecution order has come in from the Home Ministry.
Marya, I really don't appreciate your point of view, because you are saying that the legal procedure should be hampered because someone is contesting election. Well, how is it possible? There's a procedure which has to happen, and that's happening. I don't understand. What's the question? When someone has done corruption, someone has made money out of it. The CAG report says that 2,600, 26...
Nothing has been proved, sir. Even the trial has not started. What were you doing for the last 2 years?
Is it your debate or is it a shouting brigade?
No, what were you doing for the last 2 years?
You have to be silent. You have to be patient because when you were speaking, RP Singh did not. Go ahead, RP Singh.
So the CAG report categorically says the loss to the exchequer is in tune to almost 2,700 crore rupees. And there are now evidence with the ED which clearly proves that Goa money was transferred to Goa and then it was used for electoral objectives. And then there are people within the lobby which has paid money saying that yes, they have paid money. The people who have received money, who have accepted that they have received money. So all this has to be presented to the court. Why delay it? I don't understand. Why delay it for election? I mean, that all these facts will be presented to the court, and it's a trial which will be on now. It's not as happening tomorrow from tomorrow itself. Let the court decide on it. When court gave them a relief of bail, I mean, let court give them if court feels appropriate, they can give them relief tomorrow. That okay, we'll hear this case after the election or whenever they want to hear it.
So fact is that they are out on bail. The court has given them bail.
Conditions. No, out on bail with conditions. Out on not bail that they are free to do whatever they have to do. As I told you, Mr. Kejriwal can't go to the CM office. He can't. He couldn't have signed a document. He couldn't have called a meeting. Mr. Sisodia has to keep his mobile phone on and then keep his data on so that he can be tracked. I mean, that's not my order. This is a court order, and that's not my observation. And also that he has to appear to the local police station and to be present in front of a Haldar twice a week. Well, these are conditions laid to the serious culprits. I mean, people who commit big crime.
Okay, just a quick response from you, Anmol, and then I bring in other guests.
Can I come in?
Yes.
Marya ji, they are spreading misinformation. The fact is that there's no restriction on Arvind Kejriwal ji to work as CM. In fact, a PL was filed before the Delhi High Court, and the Delhi High Court dismissed it, imposing a fine of 50,000. And as far as condition on Manish Sisodia ji is concerned, because they are expert in abusing and criticizing, padh likh ke aate nahi, so they don't know that restriction has been removed by the Honorable Supreme Court.
Yashwardhan Azad, please welcome on the show. The question here is that prosecution order has come from the Home Ministry. The Aam Aadmi Party has questioned the timing of it. But what are the concerns really about this timing? Because a prosecution of this nature had to come from the Union Home Ministry sooner than later.
Well, technically, Marya, there's nothing wrong in the sanction coming at this particular time. There's no doubt about that. But looking into the case and the entire environment around it, if the election is about 15 days ahead, or a few weeks ahead, then the sanction for prosecution at this particular time does give us particular message. And I think on that account, definitely, I mean, these two, whether it's the Kejriwal or Sisodia, they are allowed to do their campaigns, and it should have been in good grace to sort of get that sanction later. Mind you that the charge sheet has already been filed and they're already on bail. And if the Supreme Court conditions which have been laid down, if they are followed, then I suppose that they'll continue on bail and the trial can go on.
Neeta Chaudhary is also joining us. Neeta Chaudhary, as a political journalist, what's your reading of the sanction which has come in right now?
I find it very curious that this kind of clearance has been given right in the middle of elections. Notification, everything is done, everything is underway. We are now moving towards 5th February, counting 8th, and bang in the middle. Of course, the case is going on, he's out on bail, and the court had said that before a clearance, nothing should be done. Now with the clearance, the High Court will frame the charges against both Mr. Kejriwal and Mr. Sisodia. But as I said, the odd part of it is that in the middle of elections, when they are making a bid for power, the BJP is the main opponent, that this should happen. I don't remember this kind of thing happening before. Because you have to give a fair chance, a level playing field once the elections are on. So this is very curious, and
you are of the opinion that if a prosecution order sanction which has been given by the Home Ministry actually shakes up that level playing field?
It does, because you see, they could have waited till 8th. The case can go on. It's not that the case will not go on. But while elections are going on, campaigning, both sides making a bid for part, in the middle of it to say what the signal going out is that prosecution starts, charges are framed, therefore these two men will not be in power even if their party wins. So that's not a level playing field. This is not to say that not go on.
Yes, and it is coming on a day that they went ahead and filed their nomination papers. While, overall, it's sending a message, as Neerja said, that even if they win, they will not be there to govern. Perhaps that is the message that is coming in. Yes, Yashwardhan Azad, you wanted to make a point, and then I bring in RP Singh.
Let me reiterate my point that it is very, very critical. If you are looking at a level playing field, then a sanction coming at any time is absolutely okay. But a home ministry is giving sanction, which is directly against the government of India. And at this particular time, when the elections are just about a few weeks away, then it sort of relates to a hubris. Because, for the simple reason that the entire process is on, investigation is complete, charge sheet is on, and what did the Supreme Court give the bail for? Because it's being inordinately long period, and that's why they are entitled to bail. So giving a sanction at this particular time does sound in bad taste. That's all.
Okay, RP Singh.
Well, they went to the court, and this was the plea by them that since the sanction is not there, so the case should not be taken forward. That was the plea of the Aam Aadmi Party in the court. Mr. Kejriwal and Mr. Sisodia in the court. So, what is the option with the ED? They have to move to the concerned authority. In this case, it was the LG, and then from LG to the MHA. But this is a normal procedure. I don't see a reason why a question should be raised on this or the timing of the sanction. But had they not gone to the court saying that, the case should, they found a technical reason to withhold the proceeding of the court.
Okay, Anmol Panwar, you want to respond. Please go ahead.
Marya ji, you said about level playing field. Where's the level playing field? Applications are being given to the Election Commission from the residents of Member of Parliaments and Ministers of Bharatiya Janata Party for voter addition. 1100 bribe is being given by the candidate from New Delhi Assembly constituency. Shoes are being distributed, glasses are being distributed. और सुना है सोने की चेन भी मिल रही है वहाँ तो नई दिल्ली में लड़ाई हो रही है कि भाई हमें भी सोने की चेन चाहिए. Bed sheets are being distributed. So where's the level playing field? What is the Election Commission doing? किस चीज का इंतजार कर रहा है? It is out in open that it is the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress which is contesting against the Aam Aadmi Party, and Election Commission is a mute spectator because they are not taking any action against the candidates who are openly violating the Model Code of Conduct Rule 123. And the fact is that this propaganda is being run by the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson जिन्हें किसी तरह की कोई जानकारी नहीं है. There's absolutely no restriction on Mr. Arvind Kejriwal to continue as Chief Minister because he doesn't hold portfolio. He does not need to sign the files. Only the files which are being sent to the Lieutenant Governor is to be signed by him, and there is no restriction on it. Go and read Order dated 10/5/2024. Go and read Order dated 12/7/2024 and 13/9/2024.
It's a conditional
Not
bail.
At all. I can
which
say
is essentially about.
There is
Anmol,
no
calm down,
such
please.
restriction.
Please calm down. My point is that if we are raising the question of whether the case and what the Supreme Court has said and what the Enforcement Directorate has said, all that is there on the table as far as this discussion is concerned. So Yashwardhan Azad, I'm coming to you.
Can I make a point, please? Can I ask?
Aam Aadmi Party continues to call this case bogus. They say that this case doesn't hold. But the timing would also be about the prosecution order, which, please calm down. Politicians, please calm down. I'm looking at the agencies now seeking such sanction against all politicians, which is essentially to do with Money Laundering Act and which is under section 197(1) of the CRPC, against whom charge sheet has been filed. If the trial is to begin, how soon can that be, and what is really the procedure here?
Well, if the charge sheet has been already filed and and it has been accepted by the court that the trial can begin at any time, the question is that the Supreme Court has given them bail and listing out particular reasons, particular grounds for bail, and that is that they will participate faithfully in the trial and the proceedings, and nothing untoward is going to be done. Now, if it was felt that they are doing something contrary, for example, influencing the witnesses or doing anything like that, then their bail could have been cancelled. But there has been nothing on that account. Now, the question, as Nirjaji has also rightly said, that the timing of this prosecution sanction, which comes at this particular time, shows a kind of a hubris, shows a kind of a bad taste, because the question is that the elections were to be held in 2-3 weeks, right? Nothing would have made any difference because the charge sheet has already been filed and the court proceedings will already be on. So that's why it is important that there should be a level playing field. And I strongly think that this sends out a kind of a wrong message. Though, if it's a question like Denmark and Sweden, if you have something like this there, then one would say it's fine. It's a kind of a sanction which took its own time and it's come. But here, since the environment is different, and we all know what the environment is all about, I think it speaks a lot about the timing, and it must be, I support that.
And Chaudhary, the BJP and the central government continues to face this charge of misuse of central agencies, investigating agencies, be it the ED or the CBI or the income tax, that it has almost become a political tool that they use against their political opponents, allegedly. And now this prosecution coming in. So it's essentially, many would say, goes in that nature only, that this is what the party believes in doing in terms of misusing the agency powers that they have. Nirja.
Yeah, okay, that's for me.
Yes.
Yes, this is one of the things, the charges against the BJP government, that they're using the agencies against opponents, using the agencies selectively. This is one of the issues that the opposition, particularly the Aam Aadmi Party in the Delhi election, is making. And therefore, I don't understand, in the interest of fairness, in the interest of Caesar's wife being above suspicion, it's only a matter of days. They could have done this on the 9th of February. It's a no-holds-barred battle, with the BJP well placed this time than it has been the last 2 years. And the Aam Aadmi Party fighting back to retain its hold in Delhi. All this put together, it doesn't make sense to me why the BJP should do this in the middle of elections and invite them. Unless, of course, we all know that the stakes, it's little Delhi. It's a Delhi city, capital of a country, but the stakes are very, very high. And particularly high for Arvind Kejriwal. If he doesn't make it, then I think his existence as a party may get affected. For the BJP, the stakes are not high, except that if the Kejriwal also loses after Haryana and Maharashtra, then not only does AAP get defeated, but the India alliance loses steam, and that's an important gain for the BJP. Of course, everything will depend on how well or badly the Congress does. But that apart, I think the stakes are very, very high in Delhi.
Yes, 70 seats, but given the kind of narrative it will set, will certainly decide how 2025 goes for multiple parties, India bloc, and also for the BJP. Thank you so much for your time here, Nirja Chaudhary, Yashwardhan Azad, RP Singh, and Anmol Panwar. That's all from me. We are putting out this entire discussion on NDTV.com. Thanks so much for watching.